Let's chat about homeschool history. This year I have a 7th grader, 5th grader, 2nd grader, and preschooler, and we are doing history together as a family. Welcome back to Curriculum Week. This is day 2 of Curriculum Week, and today I'm going to chat about the history resources that we're using this year for our homeschool. We're actually using 2 resources. Our main resource we'll be studying all year long is Story of the World, the Middle Ages. Sorry, there's a glare here. This is the activity book. It also has like a chapter book, or you can use their audiobook. We're using their audiobook. And this is from the fall of Rome to the rise of the Renaissance. And if you watched my video from yesterday, you know we're also studying Shakespeare this year to coincide with this. And we'll be studying Shakespeare all year in our morning basket. And we'll end off with learning about Shakespeare at the end of this book. So I'm really liking Story of the World so far. If you are not new to my channel, I have jumped around quite a bit with history. Last year, we used Curiosity Chronicles for ancient history, which was good. It was good. I liked it. I don't have any complaints. I just decided I wanted to try Story of the World this year, so that's what we're doing. So what we do is we listen to the audiobook. I have a Yodo player, so I have made a Yodo card for the audiobook, and so we just listen to 1 to 2 chapters a week. And while we're listening, they are broken up into different sections in the chapter. Some people do it section by section, but it just doesn't work for our schedule to do history every day. It works better to do it once or twice a week. So we listen to the whole chapter, but I pause in between sections and we do a bit of oral narration and just chat about what we've heard so far and what we think. At the end of the chapter, I have every child that is school age, so not my preschooler, so 2nd grade, 5th, and 7th. I have these narration notebooks from School Nest. They're grade specific, so this is my 7th graders. And he uses this for a lot of things, like he's got a book report in here. But what we'll do for Story of the World is I will have him just write out about one of the sections in the chapter. So they get to pick. Usually it's the last section because that's the one that's most fresh in their mind, and I'm okay with that unless there was a really interesting story in the middle. That's usually what they pick. And so I just have them narrate it to me. If they need some guidance, I give them some guidance. And then for my 2nd grader, she can choose to either do narration on her own, which is just writing it out, or she can tell me verbally. I can write it on a whiteboard and she'll copy it, or she can do copy work. There are copy work options within the activity book, which I really like. And then she will just copy it out. And I do want to just point out, if you get these books, they're from School Nest. The ruling of the lines are different per grade. And this is actually, for my 2nd grader personally, is probably a little bit too big, which I didn't realize was going to be an issue, but she wants a new one. She's going to be done with this book so soon, and it's only September. So you can also get ones that don't say the grade, and it just says like narration notebook, and you can choose which size line you want. So we'll probably switch her to that when she's done with this book. But that's really the difference in them. And then my 5th grader is kind of in between. She always does narration. Sometimes she fills up a whole page. Sometimes she does half a page. I'm fine with either. I just want them getting in the habit of telling back what they learned and getting in the habit of writing, right? So that's what we're doing. In addition to narration, every chapter we do map work, which is included. So it just has them do outline things in different colors, which I really like. And they really like. They're like, which color crayons do I need? And so it's just really simple. And then I have them put it in their notebook next to their narration. We also have this cute little castle that they made that's got like sticky tack on it. And that castle, it's like this big, travels from location to location on our big world map that's on the wall next to our timeline. And so they get to take turns moving the castle depending on where we're studying, because it is in chronological order, not region. And so it moves around from region to region, and then we'll jump back at some point. So that's kind of a fun little visual for them. And I think it's a good way to just continue to add in that geography, because the map work is so like specific. The world map gives them a better idea. Okay, this was right here. Oh, and then we're jumping over here. And then we're going, to India, and then we're going to China, and then we're going to Italy. So it just gives them a better big picture. And then every chapter also has included activities. We do not do them every time. We do them sometimes, but I can give you an example. Like when we learned about the Justonian era, they had paper dolls. And so my second grader did the paper dolls. Sometimes it's recipes, sometimes it's like acting things out. And so we do them here and there as I can fit them into our schedule. A timeline. So each child has a history timeline notebook. We've had these for 4 years now. We started them when we did California history, which was a few years ago now. And so it didn't come with Story of the World. But it was like a free printable timeline pack that I found online, and I just shrunk them down. I had to do a little bit of trial and error with printing them, and then I printed them on sticker paper. So here's the sticker paper, and then they just cut them out per chapter and put them in their book. So here's Middle Ages, and there it is, and it's really simple.
In addition to the timeline book, we also keep a timeline on our wall specifically for the Middle Ages. I let my kids take turns putting the timeline sticker on the wall as a good visual for them as time goes by in our study.
To go along with history, we are doing read-alouds that match the historical time. Currently reading Tales of King Arthur. In addition to that, my oldest is reading Tales of Robin Hood, and we listen to the Robin Hood story on our Yodo player. And then I have a whole big stack of books that we're gonna read through this year that all fit in time with the history. They're not necessarily gonna be like this specific chapter, but just getting a better broad understanding of what life was like in that period of time. Don't always add in the projects from the activity book. We are using Kids Art Box. I just bought this one box. We're not doing it monthly. It's more, I'm spreading it out. I think it will last us the first half of the school year. But this Middle Ages specific art box. And so it comes with 4 projects. It comes with the stuff that you need. We're currently making stained glass. Here's all of the projects that it comes with, like illuminated book. It comes with a quill and ink pen you can work with, the stained glass. So we will slowly work through these projects as well, and then possibly add in an artist specific box from that time period for the second half of the school year. If you caught in the beginning of the video, I said we're using 2 different resources. I know that was like 10, but like 2 main spines for history. So we're doing Middle Ages through the whole year, but it's an election year. So of course I have to teach my kids about the election, which we've done before, you know, at the last election. But there's this new curriculum that came out. It's from A Living Learning Co. It's called Little Patriots, the Presidential Election. I like it because she's very neutral. She doesn't talk about the current candidates at all, actually. And it seems to be really well written for using it family style. And so we're not using it exactly the way that it was written. The way that her lesson format is that she'll have you read the book one day and discuss and do narration notebooking, and then watch a video and do narration notebooking, and then do an activity and do narration notebooking. But the way that we're doing it is for each unit, which is 3 lessons in each unit, we're doing it in one day. So we'll read the book, we'll watch the video, we'll do narration, and then we will do the activity. And I have actually been really good about these activities so far. So here's some of the units. We have what is a president, what is an election, suffrage. So we've done all of those. And then we're currently on presidents of the past, and each kid is going to do a report on their chosen president. They're currently working on that. Additional reading, like chapter books, if you wanted to assign those to an older child or work those into your morning basket. I think this is actually why I've succeeded in doing these projects, is she's like, here, just put together a basket of supplies and then show them my project example, and then they create it the way they want to create it. So here's like making a presidential poster. They each got to make their own presidential poster. And then later on, you can make yourself a button. We'll be building a ballot box. We're gonna finish up what we can, and then I'm gonna wait and do the election day unit probably on Monday before the election. And I think we're gonna maybe use the ballot box to vote on something else, like dinner for the next day. And then maybe we'll also do a presidential election as well with our ballot box. And then we'll pay attention to the election news throughout the day. And then the last unit is actually on the inauguration. And so she has this, "Dear Mr. President," congratulatory letter that you write. So we'll save that unit and do it on inauguration day or the day before. So I'm excited to add this in. It's been a little tricky to figure out my schedule as far as like doing history and doing this and making sure I'm going to finish the chapters in time, because I know that I also want to do Christmas school in December. And so then we won't do history at that time because we'll be doing Christmas school. So I'm figuring it out, but this is a really cool resource if you want to teach your kids about the election. And we are enjoying it so far. So that's it for history for this year. I would love to answer any questions you have or give you more detailed flip throughs. If you're interested, just let me know. And please come back tomorrow for another day of curriculum week.